This is a story that takes place in the distant past, when a son, a wife, and a poor merchant named Henry resided in a small hut. He would sell his items in the market every morning. He would finish his trade that day by the end of the evening. He was a man who worked very hard, and everyone in the community knew it. When Henry was trading in the market one day, he went to a jeweler and he asked him,
"How are things going for your business? What if I offer you a terrific deal?"
"Henry, what terrific deal could you possibly have?"
Then Henry takes a small golden stone from his pouch and hands it to the jeweler.
"Brother, have you discovered a gold mine in the well behind your house? Where did you get this from?"
Come on, don't be a spoiled sport and quickly tell me how you are going to price this stone for.
Where did this hapless seller get such a precious stone? Well, I could care less.
Listen, tomorrow is our son's birthday. I was wondering whether I could create something lovely and yummy for him. Would you mind giving me some cash? Then I could go grocery shopping and cook.
Why don't we invite everyone in the village to a feast? It is, after all, our son's birthday today. It will be a fantastic occasion. Take some money from here.
So much cash? How did you get it? Are you sure you did not rob anyone?
What? Come on, stop overthinking everything. My trade has been very profitable over the last few days. Customers are willing to pay a fair price for our items. Those days of poverty are long gone.
The next day, the townspeople gathered at Henry's house for the feast. The moment they saw the feast table, everybody began chit-chatting. One of the villagers approaches Henry and asks him,
"This feast is really magnificent. Did you win the lottery or something that you are making so much money out of it all?"
Oh no, there is no such thing as the lottery. We only make money in our business.
Henry is definitely hiding something. I mean, I am a trader too. Which means, had he discovered that I couldn't get to? Something is fishy, in my opinion. No, I swear, I can smell that the entire sea is fishy.
The following day, James began watching Henry closely. James started following him all the way from his home to the market. One evening, when Henry was returning from the market, he suddenly turned towards the back door and began scanning the area to see if anyone was watching him or not. James, however, was hidden and observed him from a distance.
Why is Henry so late at night here beside this well?
Right at that moment, Henry enters the well with an empty backpack. After some time, he returns with the empty bag filled with gold.
I sensed it. Henry must be keeping some secrets. Now I understand how Henry becomes so wealthy so quickly. Why don't we make use of this information? Now that I know about Henry won't get any poorer if he shares some riches. Though tomorrow, let's make a plan. Tomorrow I am going down the well to get some gold for myself. I'll give it to my wife. She will be overjoyed.
James chose to enter that well the following day without informing anyone. James descends into the well. The only thing that he can see inside the well was darkness and creepers. James discovers a tunnel after some time of searching. James goes through that tunnel.
Dear God, this is the first time I have seen such a large amount of gold. So I must swiftly load my bag with all of this wealth. Finally, I have hit gold.
James goes through that tunnel. He can immediately see gold and gold all around him once he comes out the other end of the tunnel.
Dear God, this is the first time I have seen such a large amount of gold. So I must swiftly load my bag with all this wealth. Finally, I have hit gold.
This is fantastic. I'm really happy to hear what you told me. I'll go to the jeweler and get the stone weighted. When James' wife goes to the jeweler, she receives a great deal on that stone. Every night, James would descend into Henry's well and fill his bag with gold stones, which he would then carry back to home. Look at that! I have bought so many lovely clothes and jewelry for myself. All of these are mine. Why don't I request more gold stones from him this time? How many times can someone enter secretly and steal gold stones each day? If he brings a lot of gold, he won't have to go for months. Yes, this idea is going to be fantastic. Listen, you will enter that well tonight carrying many bags and bringing plenty of gold stones for me. You don't have to spend every night in the well if you bring a lot of gold stones with you.
Yes, you are completely correct. I do agree with you. I'll head out tonight and return with tons of riches for you.
James climbs down into the well and begins to remove the gold stones. As soon as he tries to take out a lot of gold stones from one place, the well's wall started to crumble.
What is going on here? Is there a crack in the wall as well? I need to get out of here as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'll become trapped in this well. Well, before I leave, I'll gather some gold stones.
When Henry finds out about this the following day, he then goes to James' wife and tells her,
If you had told us you needed gold, we would have gladly assisted you. But you chose the path of greed and deceit instead. As a result, you are currently suffering.
So, we learn from this story, greed is that devil who is unsatiable. Nothing will suffice him. A man is wealthy by his thinking, not through his material possessions.
A potter named Chandler lived in the village of the Mean Park. His first wife had died, with whom he had a daughter, Raven. Chandler married again. He had a daughter named Nia with his second wife, Natalie. When Natalie got married, she treated Raven, her stepdaughter, badly. She used to make her do all the household work and sometimes didn't give dinner to her. When Chandler came home from work, Natalie used to start to act like she is working. Raven was very polite, and that's why her mother used to take advantage of her nature. Natalie used to tell her to do a lot of work. She only gave her stale food. One day, Natalie buys a lot of fruits from the market. She eats all the fruits herself and gives the leftover pomegranate to Raven.
Hey Raven, eat this pomegranate. Otherwise you will say that mother doesn't give me anything to eat. No mother, why will I say that? Who knows what you say about me?
Raven takes the pomegranate to the garden and starts eating it. She eats some of it, and some pomegranate seeds fall on the ground. She becomes sad and starts crying there. After 8 days, a small plant starts to grow in the garden. After seeing it, Raven becomes happy. Raven used to water the plant every day and do all the household work as well. One day, her father becomes very ill, so he decides to rest in the house. Now there is no way to earn for the family, and Natalie starts fighting with everyone because of this. A lot of days passed like this, but Chandler's health didn't seem to be improving. So Natalie gets irritated and goes to her parents' home with Nia. Raven takes care of her father very well. But all the food in the house gets finished, and now she goes to the garden and starts crying. And then suddenly, Raven! Raven!
Who is there? Whose voice is this?
Raven, it's me, the pomegranate tree that you planted.
Can you speak?
Yes, Raven, I am a magical pomegranate tree which you made. Raven, stop crying and tell me what is the problem. I will help you.
How can you help me?
Just tell me your problem and see the magic.
My father is very ill And my stepmother has also left the house. No food is left to eat now. How will I get food and money for my father's medicine?
After saying this, Raven starts crying again. Suddenly, a lot of pomegranates appear on the tree. They are so beautiful that she keeps looking at them. Pomegranate tree speaks. Raven, take all the pomegranates from my branches and go sell them in the market. You can buy food and medicines for the money you earn. She takes all the pomegranates. She puts them in a basket and starts to sell them in the market. What's the rate?
Rupees 50 per kg.
Only 50 rupees per kilogram. Please give me 2 kilograms pomegranate. Soon, all her pomegranates are sold and she comes back home. On her way home, she buys some food and medicines for her father. She happily feeds her father and gives him the medicines. Later, she goes to the back garden to thank the tree. Then she notices that the tree has a lot of pomegranates again.
Hey, a magical tree, thank you. Today we were able to eat proper food after so many days.
You can take the pomegranates and sell them every day. You will never be sad again. Now every morning, Raven used to take all the pomegranates from the tree and went to the market to sell them. Raven was happy that she was able to afford her father's trip. Father started feeling better and was well in a few days. He started working as a potter again. Now, Raven used to help him as well. With time, Raven became rich by selling pomegranates. Now they had everything. Raven bought a shop in the village. She and her father used to do their business from the shop. One day, a big car stopped at her shop and a very handsome person came out of it. How much for all the pomegranates?
200 rupees. Do you want all of them?
Yes, all of them. The young fellow keeps looking at Raven's beauty. He buys the pomegranates and leaves. The next day, Natalie returns home with her daughter. Chandler gets angry with her. Natalie feels bad for her behavior and cries in remorse. He forgives her on Raven's request. The young fellow with the big car comes to their home the same day. My name is Samuel and I run my own business. I live in this city. I liked your daughter very much and would like to marry her.
Oh, yes, but you should have brought your parents. We would have liked to talk to them about this.
I have no one in this world. I am alone. Sorry to hear that. It's okay. You should ask Raven if she would like to marry me or not.
Raven, please come outside, daughter. Would you like to marry him?
Raven blushes and runs back inside. Soon they get married. Raven comes back to the magical tree and says to him,
Hey, the magical pomegranate tree, you helped me a lot. Thank you so much. Please take care of my father as well.
Yes, you should go. Don't worry about it at all. After this, she leaves for her house and lives happily. We learn from the story that we should not behave badly with anyone. Good things happen to good people.
When King Brad went to sit on his throne on the third day, his daughter Selina appeared in front of him and said,
Oh my king, what are you doing? First do things as Vincent did. Then sit at the throne.
King Vincent did what kind of things?
Listen, once upon a time, fate and effort were arguing about who is stronger. Effort said that nothing is possible without hard work. But fate believed that people get whatever is in their destiny and hard work has no role in it. Their fight increased so much that they had to go to God to resolve their issue. It was a difficult matter to resolve, even for the God. People who achieved success because of luck didn't believe in effort. On the other hand, if God said fate was stronger, then efforts would give example of those who achieved success because of their hard work. God was confused and couldn't make a decision. After thinking hard, he remembered about King Vincent.
Only King Vincent can resolve this fight in this whole world. You both should go to King Vincent. He is very knowledgeable. He will definitely have answers to all your questions.
Fate and effort transformed into human form and went to King Vincent. Vincent was also confused at first. He told them to come again after 6 months. After they were gone, Vincent thought about it deeply. To reach a conclusion, he went to his kingdom village dressed a common man. When he couldn't find a satisfactory answer even after roaming around the village, he decided to go to other kingdoms' villages as well. After extensively roaming around the public, he couldn't find a solution. Then he decided to do a job under a businessman. The businessman gave him the job on the condition that he would have to do everything that other people couldn't do. After a few days, the businessman filled the ship with his produce and started the journey throughout the ocean to other kingdoms for selling his product. Vincent was also one of the servants who went with him. After covering a small distance, a terrible storm came in the ocean. People present on the ship were scared and disappointed. The ship was somehow steered to a nearby island and the anchor was tied. When the storm ended, people started untying the anchor, but none was able to pick it up. The businessman remembered the condition on which Vincent was given the job, that he will do what others wouldn't be able to. He told Vincent to pick up the anchor. He was able to pick it up very easily, and the ship started on its journey again. But Vincent was left on the island. He didn't know what to do in this situation. He roamed around the island. He saw an entrance to a town where a message was hung. The message said that the princess of the kingdom will only be married to a mighty Vincent. He walked to the palace. Princess was happy to know who he was, and they were married. After a few days, he started walking towards his kingdom with a few servants. He stopped to put up a tent and rest on his way. He met with a hermit there. The hermit gave him a garland and a stick. The garland has two specialities. Someone who wore it become invisible and could see everything. And secondly, that person will be successful in whatever he does. A person with the stick could ask for a many gold ornament as he wanted. King Vincent thanked the hermit and returned to his kingdom. He decided to stay in a garden, and he sent his servants back with a message to the princess that he will call her to his kingdom soon. He met a scholar and a poet in the garden. They both were looking after the garden since a long time. They hoped that their king will meet with them and save them from their misfortune. King Vincent was affected. He gave the garland to the poet and stick to the scholar. They both were grateful for his magical gifts. They praised their king and left. King Vincent returned to his palace and started his day-to-day work. 6 months had passed. Fate and effort returned to him for his final decision. King Vincent gave his decision and said that fate and effort complete each other. He remembered the example of the garland and the stick. It was his luck that the garland and the stick was given to him by the hermit. But the scholar and poet got them because of their hard work. Fate and effort were completely satisfied with his answer and left. Say, my king, do you have the competency to give such a just and fair decision, and kindness and ability to give away priceless items?
King Brad was confused again and wasn't able to sit on the throne even on the third day.
In the village named Shire lived Ross. He used to work very hard in his farm, but even after growing good crops, he never earned good money. That's why he was a little worried.
My crop is good, still I don't get good price for it. I have to grow something different in my farm for better production.
What have you been thinking for so many days?
I am thinking of growing something different this year.
Like what?
Nothing. I am thinking, what if we grow chilies along with the wheat?
That is a good idea, but you have to get the seeds for chilies.
Yes, I will go and check the market.
Ross goes to the market and gets the seeds for wheat and chilies.
This year I am going to do mass production and will work really hard.
Saying this, he goes to the farm and sows the seeds. He takes care of them, but he loses his concentration. To grow more, he gives a lot of water to the crops. If you do this, then our entire crop will get ruined. Now don't water these crops for another 8 days.
Okay, my love.
Days passed on like this and the chilies started to grow. Ross plucks the chilies and goes to the market to sell. The merchant tells him,
These are very small chilies. You will get little money for it.
Sir, please give me better price.
No, I will not give you a single penny more.
Ross got upset. He took the money and came home. After seeing him upset, Valerie said, "What happened? Why are you so upset?"
My love, we worked so hard, and what we get, he said that our chilies are not good enough.
Our chilies were good. Leave it. Next time we will consult one priest, and then we will decide what to grow next in our farm.
Okay, we'll do it.
We will go tomorrow morning. Ross and Valerie went to the priest and asked him for his opinion on what to grow in their farm that he should suggest.
Tell me, child, what brings you here? Priest, I work very hard, but never succeed in my farm. I don't get good price for my crops. Okay, so this is the issue. This time, just grow only chilies. But remember, these chilies are very big. Yes, priest, I'll get good money if the chilies are big. Yes, that is true. Take these chili seeds. Sow them carefully and take good care of them.
Priest hands over the seeds to Ross. Ross and Valerie greets the priest and leaves. Back at home, Ross checks the seeds and store them in a bundle. Next day, Ross and Valerie went to the field and sow the seeds. They came back home after sowing the seeds. Next day, they go to the farm again and saw that the seeds have turned into plants. Ross and Valerie got very happy.
Have you seen this? Our chili crop is getting big.
Yes, they're getting big. Now we just have to wait for the chilies.
Yes, that is what I'm waiting for.
Me too. Next day in the farm, they saw chilies on some plants, but they were very huge. Each chili was about 100 kg. Ross hired a truck driver to carry them to the market.
Brother, I need to sell my chilies on the market. I need to carry them. Okay, I'll transport your chilies to the market, but I'll take good money. Okay, I'll pay. First, let's go.
Ross and the truck driver comes to the farm. The truck driver says to Ross,
Ross, how did these chilies got so big? I'm seeing such big chilies for the first time in my life. These are some different type of chilies. Will you transport them to the market? No, brother. You will pick them up. It will not fit in my truck. How do I take them to the market then? Ross, go to the crane driver. He'll help you. Okay.
Saying this, Ross goes to the crane owner and says,
I need to sell my chilies in the market. Can you please help me with your crane?
What do you want to transport? Chilies? Hey, are you kidding me?
No, brother. I have grown very big chilies that I want to sell in the market. Will you be able to help me?
Yes, brother. But how come a chili be so big?
Come and see yourself. Is that okay with you?
Ross and the crane driver comes to Ross's farm. The crane driver gets shocked after seeing the chilies. And he says to Ross,
Ross, how did you get such big chilies in your farm? I have never seen so big chilies in my life.
Yes, these are magical chilies. That's why. Let's take these chilies to the market. I'll sell them for good price.
Yes.
The crane driver and Ross takes the chilies to the market. And Ross says to the merchant,
Sir, I have grown good chilies this time. You have to give me good price this time. Like always, you must have brought poor quality chilies. Just check them once.
The merchant gets shocked after seeing the chilies.
Ross, only I'll buy these chilies and you will not sell to anyone else. But I need very good price for them.
Ross, if we make powder out of these chilies, then my entire village will use it for 1 year. That's how big these are. That's why I'll buy all of your chilies.
Yes, sir. I'll only sell them to you.
The merchant gives Ross some good advance. Ross sells his chilies to the merchant. He sold all his chilies to that merchant. He started growing these chilies every year and became rich within a few years. His chilies got popular among the villagers. Ross and Valerie lived happily ever after because of these chilies. The moral of the story is that
We have to work hard in life. Luck follows those who work hard.